Hey.
Hey, and welcome to Musicians Hangout with your hosts, Crash Fistbite, the Booty Pop Moopsie, and Maxine Maxwell from the Maxwells.
Hey, everybody. Happy Wednesday. Oh, my goodness. What a week. I am so happy we have our musicians hangout. Cheers, my dear.
Ooh, cheers.
Yeah.
Happy Odin's Day.
My goodness. All right. We've got a fun-filled evening for you all and a really special guest with us tonight. I'll go over our mission statement for Musicians Hangout, and then we'll introduce them to you. All right. Our mission statement here on Musicians Hangout is to be part of a revolution to create friendships with other artists and build a community network to save music. And we welcome Wyatt Only to our show. Hi, Wyatt.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Yes,
oh, I'm so excited.
I love your mission statement. I too think that we need to do work to save music.
We do, and we need to work together as a team.
So true. So true.
I'm so tired of literally band wars.
Yeah. I relate. Yeah, it seems culturally like during COVID it's become so cool to tear other bands down, and I'm so against that.
Me too.
We all do this for the same reason.
Yeah.
Because we feel our music and we want to share our feelings via our music with others in this world.
Yeah. And
just
that's
to have
so
them
important.
feel, yes, maybe they can feel just a little bit of what we feel.
Yeah, absolutely. Exactly. I'm so all about that.
Yeah, I like making friends with other musicians because it's so much more fun to play shows with your friends and support each other, cheer each other on. It's a good feeling to have that connection.
And it's that camaraderie. Like we're all pirates in a way. And it's really nice to not have pointless rivalries and be able to kind of sit there and push each other forward. Yeah.
Yes. This isn't high school. We're not in cliques. All the adults about shit. So Corey Gold, he says 3 musicians and just all around people in one show. Hell yeah. Thank you, Corey. And he says,
thanks, man.
Arg.
Pirates.
That's just going to be the new thing. We're all pirates. I like that.
Yeah, I dig it.
And our friend Mike, he says, hello, ladies. Hello, wizard. He's our hemp wizard.
Yes, he is our hemp wizard. Yes.
I love that.
Yes. He is, an entrepreneur himself. He has his own business called Hemp Wizard Beard Company, and he came up with our lotion and beard oil line. So we have our own line through Mike's company.
Crash told me about that.
I told you.
Yeah, because we have a hot sauce, and so we were bonding over the whole branding expansion thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, we'll have to get some hot sauce. I love hot sauce.
Heck yeah.
I ate almost all my hot sauce. I think I only have this much left, and I had 3 or 4 of them.
Wait,
that's secretly why we did it.
Bring me some this weekend. Even what you have left, I want to try it.
Okay.
Yay.
Yeah, that's secretly why we launched a hot sauce, just because we all love hot sauce. So it was if it's ours, then we can kind of just have a supply.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I honestly think I'd want a coffee. Hint out there if anybody has coffee.
Yes.
Yeah.
I would love that. I think our next move is going to be whiskey. I think our next move is going to be a custom whiskey.
That's badass. That's
cool. Yeah, we have drinking songs, so there's branding galore in it.
I'm really jealous about this whole whiskey thing.
Yeah, right.
We need that too, Crash. Let's do that.
Oh my God, no! We know so many people in the South. We need to get some moonshine.
Yeah.
Oh, there we go. There we go.
Musicians Hangout Moonshine.
Yes,
I
we're gonna
love
have
that.
moonshine. Yes,
I'm gonna
I
make
will buy your first bottle.
Yes. We'll hand deliver it.
Oh, I love that.
Corey's like
about what you do in the industry.
As far as like musically, or
well,
what do you mean?
You can talk a little bit about all of that. You have your own band, your own
yeah. So I front a band called Wyatt Only in the Wreckage that's been around for close to a decade, probably like 7-8 years now. I also sing for a band called Crossing Crusades that's more of like a metalcore band that's like all the super screamy fun shit I grew up listening to.
Oh my god, I didn't even know you were in that band. That's fucking awesome.
Yeah, there's like new singles coming soon that are gonna tear everybody's heads off that I'm super excited about. And then other than that, I songwrite for a few labels, and I just so basically any way that I can make myself absurdly busy musically, I kind of go for.
Yeah. That's cool.
Yeah.
Well, and to get your name out there, you have to be absurdly busy, really.
Right?
Yeah.
Well, and that's why the whole like writing for labels thing's funny, because in most scenarios you ghostwrite, so nobody hears your name. It's just like written by this label that may employ this person. So it's funny because it's like the one part of the industry where you don't have a resume at all, really, because you're not allowed to.
Right.
Yeah, it's interesting.
It's a copyright infringement to write songs.
Yeah, but it's cool because I get to hear like pop stars sing words I wrote, so I'm kind of cool with that.
That is fucking cool. That is fucking cool.
Yeah, so that's just been over the last like 2 years that I do that. But other than that, I'm just like the band singer dude.
Oh, you're so much more than just a band singer, dude.
Oh, thanks.
Like, you are a whole show. To watch you perform is just, I really enjoy going to your shows. I've seen you quite a few times. Always, which is weird, but I was bashful to talk to you.
Oh, I try and be so approachable, though.
You are really approachable, honestly, but I was like fangirling.
Oh, you're so sweet. Well, and it was funny because you and I met at the Darren Ross trip or fundraising event.
Show.
There we go. I was searching for that word. But so it was weird because it's the first time I've played stripped down, me and an acoustic guitar in like 5 years. Well, it just first time in a long time.
And guys, let me tell you, this set was downright beautiful. He finished with the song called Swan Song, which straight up made everybody in the venue cry, and he got a standing ovation.
Oh, you're so sweet. Do you want to know what's super funny about that performance of that song? That song was never meant to be an unplugged song. I only played it because people wanted to hear it. But that song is super shreddy and everything. So I had to like on the fly reorchestrate it. So I didn't even know what chords I was going to play until I was doing it. So, and I think I only screwed up one chord transition. So yeah.
Nobody knew. Nobody knew. That song can be played shredded. I would love to hear the shredded version of that song. But when you played it acoustically and you sang it with such heart and soul, like you didn't just sing it, like you felt that song. And
thank you.
It was incredible.
Oh, thanks. I'm a big believer in not faking it. So that's always the tricky thing about writing songs from a place of like pain or trauma is that I always feel like you kind of owe it to the audience to take them where they're with you. And I don't like the whole phoning it in thing, which has its benefits and also its difficult
Drawback.
parts, because then all of a sudden you end up being like Chester Bennington and being, 20 years in, still singing about that trauma in a real way.
Yeah.
And I think that unfortunately that creates a bit of a curse for some musicians, because you can never quite escape that. What
Well, here's
inspired
the
that?
thing. You could be like Maynard from Tool when he talks about prison sucks.
Yeah.
He did that one time live and will not sing it ever again live. Ever.
I don't blame him. Yeah.
Oh, wow. Yeah, and I had no idea about that. That's
Well, he really takes you in, like when he did that whole album about losing his mother to cancer.
Yeah.
Well, this was about, so with Prison Sucks, he was raped by his grandfather.
Whoa.
Oh, geez.
So you
These are
got
things
really,
I don't know.
You
Yeah, I
got to
didn't know that
really,
about Maynard
you
either.
got to really listen to the lyrics on that song.
I'm here for it. Take me.
So yeah, so go to Prison Sucks and listen to that song. And but like he said, I'm only going to do this live one time. I got to put it behind me.
Yeah.
I wrote this song to emote about it, but like you said, I don't want to dwell there. That's not where I want to live. So I'll perform it this one time live, sing it with every heartfelt thing in me, and then just be done with it. Like not every set needs to have swan song, but that particular night,
right?
Because we were, with Darren and his sponsor and everything. And Swan Song is about holding on when you got nothing
right
left.
Well, and that's part of why I love that song, because our whole last record dealt with a lot of mental health stuff and a lot of like coping and trauma and all of that, and Swan Song is the last song on the record, so it really talks about like holding on and moving forward and doing all that. So that song is special because of that, I think.
Yes, and you can actually feel in the song when it goes from like being just done with everything until and then you find your hope, and you can feel that hope rising in that song. Like there's definitely a switch to that song. Like, oh my, if that song does not make you millions, I'm very disappointed in people.
In the streaming era, I think it's made us about $700, which I'll take.
If you made $7 in the streaming era, good job.
Right?
But 700, that's even better. Like,
right.
Yeah.
No, that was kind of the song, and we knew it. So when we put it out, because I think it was, I don't know how much it's been streamed now. It's like 300,000 streams on Spotify or something. We were like, oh, okay, well, this is the first like benchmark. And now it's great because we're musicians, so now it's like, okay, cool, that's the benchmark. How do we beat that? So I know you guys can both relate. Like, every success is like, cool, we have to outdo this now. Yeah.
Like here's our marker. Now we gotta go here. You got to beat that world record.
Yeah, I feel that way about our last music video. It's called "Took Too Soon," and our producer really went all out with that video and the story. And it's like, wow, we really got to raise the bar for the next one. We haven't done one in a few years, but our music videos got us known in the Seattle area enough to get us into the scene.
Totally. So, and good content lives forever. Like it's because we've always been a music video band too. We were just kind of like, so it's kind of it's something we've learned over time, like releasing something that doesn't have a video component or something you really market or push, I feel like gets forgotten about a little bit. So we always notice like the songs that everybody wants to hear are always the ones that had a music video. So now like whatever we believe in, we're like, all right, we got to do a video too.
Tools are really good for the the online packages that you send.
Oh my god, I can't wait to see the video for Swan Song. Holy crap.
Oh my god, it's so upsetting. So here's the tricky thing about that video. So for our last record, so that was the last single off of it. There's 7 singles, and it being the 7th one, we brought back characters from all the other music videos in the lead up and brought them all into the same like cinematic universe. So the tricky thing about the Swan Song video is that it doesn't make sense unless you watch the other 6.
I like that though. I love
yeah.
That makes people go back and watch all your videos.
Which wasn't really intentional. It was kind of a last minute thing. My band trusted me because I brought them this super dark concept and was basically like, so I want to do this like anti-suicide video, and I want to have a bunch of people committing suicide in reverse. In like slow motion in reverse. And they were like, okay, that's really dark, but is there a point to it? And then the more we worked the concept, we were like, okay, what if we just bring back a character from each music video that we did on the record and then have them all kind of meet and interface? So yeah, it came out really cool. I really like it.
I bet. That's really cool.
Is it really? Have you guys released that yet?
Yeah. So that came out probably close to a year ago now. Close. You're good. You're good. I think it came out like last May.
Oh my goodness! How have I not heard about this yet?
Oh, you're good. You're good. We were also like we were grinding during the pandemic while everybody else was kind of doing their thing. Like the way that we all kind of cope with bad things is to work. So we just got very good at like COVID testing at everything we did, so we didn't really take any time off.
That's great.
I love that.
Yeah, it was great for an album rollout because basically we got to, instead of just releasing an album all at once, we got to take our time and do like a single every other month, and we spent a year releasing a record, and it was really cool.
It's still going.
Yeah.
So I feel like, have provided like a huge service to a lot of people.
I mean, we tried. We just it's really bleak times. I mean, I still feel like times are really bleak. Like
they are really bleak.
It's like COVID's easing up. Now it's World War III.
World War.
Yeah.
Getting good.
Oh yeah, trust me. Right before we did this, I just went and filled up at the gas pump. So I also was like, okay, now it's that thing. Everything is just the next level of the apocalypse.
I've never paid this much in gas, like $5
it does feel like
fucking dollars. Are you shitting me with that?
Yeah, I just paid $5.15 a gallon.
I believe it.
Yeah. It's one of those things where like the things that bring me solace is art and like film and new music from people I believe in. So that was kind of our whole mission during the shutdown was like, well, we have this record mostly done. Let's just start putting it out in chunks. And it really worked well for us. So it was really, really cool.
That is cool.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not going to lie. It worked for us too. We had launched Musicians Hangout in 2019.
Yeah.
And we grew because everything went online. A record label, Bigwood Record, got a hold of us and pitched an idea to do an online concert series. And we met people from all over the nation and all over the world that
all over the world. Yeah.
It's really cool because
super cool.
The physical stage went away, but the virtual stage was there. But it
always open.
Challenging. There was so much troubleshooting with compression and with full on, jam bands being able to
streaming it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, and my favorite part about that, so well before the pandemic, I was always super into bands doing live stream things on the internet, whether it was like anytime a band would go over and play like Download Festival, and they would always put it out on the internet, and you would always get board audio. That was always my favorite thing, because to me it was, oh, okay, this is what this band actually sounds like when you strip away all the volume and all the studio magic. So for me, I loved live streams during the pandemic because it was like, okay, how well can you really play?
Because
for us, it was how well can you really put a board to a computer?
Yeah, that was the challenge. because you can sound
express and sound good.
Yep, you can
Yeah.
sound
Without
glorified. You got to have the right
cymbals
equipment.
crashing over everything. Guitars being so compressed they don't even come through anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Losing vocals. It was.
Yeah, we never mastered that. We did a couple live stream events, but we always like had a company do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was always easier.
Black Shepherd figured it out.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
We even did a video and we posted it and we're like, here's how you do it.
That's awesome. I love
And we
that.
were able to get that out to hundreds of musicians. So when we played other concert series, they were able to, do the same things that they were doing.
I mean, as best as they could. It wasn't always like 100%.
Well,
but
broadband.
it was better than it was.
Well, and that's the whole helping each other thing. That's so important.
Yes.
Like
that's community building. Yes.
Yeah, and I'm such a believer of like when you get to a mountaintop, your first goal should be to help the people that are behind you up. So, yeah, I think that that's huge as far as little secrets you figure out or ways into that. Like, because I've always tried to do that, and now it's weird because Wreckage is trying to tour more this year, and so I'm having to learn all of everybody's tricks because my stuff is all like pre-COVID experience, and booking tours is so different now because we haven't toured since the pandemic. So so this is super fun to try and learn on the fly because everything is treated so differently, and basically everybody expects things to get canceled at the drop of a hat, so nothing gets bought in advance.
Well, according to the CDC, on the 12th, it's just supposed to magically just go away, and
we're playing on the 12th, and so we're really interested to see how that's gonna go.
Right? I love that.
I'm sorry. I know, like, I really want everybody to be safe and healthy and whatever, but I'm so sick of the mask.
I get it.
Everyone is.
Yeah. Well, and it's kind of I don't know if you guys have had it. I've had all 3 rounds of COVID.
Well,
so
it wasn't diagnosed, but I think I might have had the first round of COVID because I was.
We think we both did back in 2020. We both got really sick after a concert we played together, and like fans were sick, other musicians were sick, and it probably went through us already, but we just had no clue.
Right?
So maybe we've had.
Right. Well, and I think it's a little like at this point, I'm just kind of like, well, every time I get it, it sucks for a couple days, and then I'm okay. So like that's where the fatigue comes in for me because I'm just kind of like,
I don't feel good today.
But yeah, and then you look at other parts of the country and like that. We at least live in an area where I feel like people are decently safe. People are reckless as hell in like Florida. I see like
they are.
My daughter lives in Florida.
Oh yeah.
Well, she's 23,
right?
Four now.
24.
She's 24.
So she's in Florida living her best life.
Like her because she's
we can't hate her anymore because she's 24. Everybody, nobody likes you when you're 23, but 24 is okay.
Yeah, exactly.
And I don't think she's being safe at all, but I mean, I don't know. I think it just comes down to where you work, the company you work for. She works for GameStop, but it also is Florida.
There we go. Well, and day job wise, I work in medical, so I'm used to being in a mask all day long.
So it's nothing new.
Yeah,
I work in food, and I hate it because, like, I'm sorry when I'm sitting there scooping soup because I'm a soup Nazi at work.
There we go.
That's literally my job, though. Like, I work at Lux Soup Stop for crying out loud. So no,
there you go. That's awesome.
I am
but you also, through this, have had to deal with so much bullshit. Like anybody who works public facing. Oh.
Yeah. And even though like the rest of the world gets to not wear their mask, we at the Soup Stop are going to be safe, and we are going to continue our mask wearing.
It's probably
for a little bit longer.
Yeah. And
I'm not a huge fan, but
I'll hear you.
you know, I work in a small area and I want my coworkers to be safe. I want my customers to be safe.
Yeah,
You know,
and
and
I think I think it's just the way I have always viewed the mask thing is kind of like taking your shoes off when you go into somebody's house. Like I'm just kind of like, oh,
Oh,
just to be respectful, like I'll do
yeah.
this. Like so, I don't know.
I like
I
that.
always view it as like a respect for those around me thing. So
I'm going to take that because I'm a teacher and we are
are
lifting the
you?
mandates. Yes, I teach high
yeah.
school art. And
Oh,
yeah,
wow, that's awesome. I didn't know.
yeah. So that's what I do in my other side of life. So
You're
we're
such a cool teacher. I can
thank
tell.
you.
I'm so
See,
sorry.
I
Continue.
tell her that all the time.
I
All
am
the
well
time.
loved. I am. And you know, the students don't have to mask when we have our mask mandate lifted
Yeah,
on. So it's happening over the weekend. So Monday will be our first non-mask day. But
yeah,
some teachers and some students feel comfortable still masking with,
yeah.
you know, for different reasons.
That's
And
fine.
I like your analogy of like, it's like taking your shoes off and being respectful. I'm going to use that when I talk to the kids because some kids will bully the kids who want to wear their masks still.
Yeah.
Don't bully people. Do not
Yeah,
bully people over that. That's just stupid.
They're
I
kids.
agree. I agree. Well, and
That's just
that's
not cool at all.
yeah.
Don't bully
No.
people because they want to be safe or you
Or
want to
just
be a
because they
little
want to
rough.
protect grandma. Like,
Right.
yeah, yeah.
Exactly.
Right. Like I like to live a little on the edge. Like
I'm lucky. Kids are
I'm not
very
Batman.
respectful.
I don't need a mask.
Mhm.
But I
Yeah.
respect those and I won't bully those who do wear a mask if I choose not to wear a mask or vice
Yeah,
versa.
yeah,
Like
totally.
don't be a dick. Don't be a dick, people.
Right. That's the golden rule that I think everybody should just be better at abiding by is don't be a dick
Yes.
in
Yeah,
every scenario.
exactly.
Yeah. Just be
Rule number
excellent to
one.
each other.
Yes. Just
Friggin'
don't be a dick. Be excellent to each other and peace, love, harmony.
Yeah, yeah, and if you know a band coming through town on tour, offer them a floor to sleep on. That's always a golden
Yes.
rule too.
And
Right.
maybe like, a hot meal.
Yes, exactly, exactly. I
Yes.
have
Like,
friends right now who are touring with the gas increase right now. So I have friends who have been
Oh,
like,
oh.
so imagine being like 2 weeks into a tour and you thought you had everything budgeted out, and then all of a sudden gas hikes like $2 a gallon. That changes the game.
that changes the whole fucking game. Like,
Yeah, I feel real bad for a lot of
oh,
close
they're
friends
gonna
of mine
need
right now.
places to live and they're gonna need hot meals.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Be good to your musicians, people, because you know
Right.
what? We bring you entertainment and delight. The least you can do is offer a floor or a couch and maybe some top ramen. It's like 39 damn cents.
I love
And
that.
you can get, here's the thing I learned. So it's not cup o noodles, it's literally just cup noodles.
Really?
Yes, it's just cup noodles. Cup noodles.
Cup noodles.
I'm
So you
learning
can
right
get
now.
like a whole thing of cup noodles for $5. And that will feed like
Every band in
12
town.
musicians.
Yeah. Yeah. Just come to shows and just pelt the stage with packs of
Cup
cup
noodles. Cup noodles.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
give us
I
cup
want
noodles.
French fries, guys. I'm a
Yeah.
fries person. Please give
Okay,
me
And
I
maybe
respect
some
that.
shots. Maybe some shots of whatever we
a
like.
little more expensive than cup of noodles, but I like
Or
a good.
buy a beer for your local musicians, man. Like,
Right?
damn.
Yeah.
Oh man, I
Buy
fill
a
up.
gallon of gas.
Mhm. Yeah, can I fill your tank? 6 set, bro.
Donate $6 to
I
your
don't know if
local
you guys noticed,
musician.
but our chat is blowing up. We got several people in the
I
chat.
know
I
they
c-
I
have.
gotta just say hi
I
to
don't get to
everybody.
see
Love
it.
you guys. Love you
You
guys.
don't get to see it? Oh my
Oh
god.
wait, no, I just found it. I just
Hey,
found it.
click there. You'll see everybody in the chat.
Oh, there
If
we
anyone
go.
has questions for Wyatt, let us know. We'll ask him and we'll
Push
get
me to
those-
say
Ugh.
something offensive because controversy is popular.
Like Dan says, oh my Loki.
Hey, I saw Daniel Ray was a freaking art teacher back in the day. Shout out to you, Danny Ray. Oh, and Dan McGinnis. Hi, dude. I went to college with Dan McGinnis. Yeah, Dan
He
McGinnis.
said, hey, what if masks went 2 weeks past what the CDC said? I'm a teacher now as well, and it's a big question. I
It
feel
is.
like, like if it goes on, it fucking goes on.
Mhm.
This was only supposed to last 6 weeks 2 years ago.
Right.
So
Mm.
there's that.
2 years later.
Yeah. I'm not.
Mhm.
I always side on this thing. Like it's always my golden rule with everything, where I'm like, I'm a musician. I'm not a scientist. I don't understand. I try my best to never like give my opinion on it. So like the whole pandemic,
Good
people
for
were like,
you.
"How do you feel about this thing?" I'm like,
I don't have it.
so, um, so there are really smart people who would probably know.
Right?
I
Like
don't
I'm a
know.
closet scientist, if you will. Like I know
Right.
some chemistry and some stuff, but
My
I'm
brother
not
is
gonna.
as
I don't
smart
work
as
for the
him.
CDC. Like I don't have samples of the COVID. Looking at it and being like, "Yep, 2 more years," or "No, we
Yeah.
only got a week left."
I I I
Maybe
would
more.
say in my smart
No.
estimation, my one piece of advice that I give to every musician right now is that if I had to guess, given the way the last 2 years went, I think that this is going to keep happening cyclically for probably 3 to 5 more years, I would guess. So I think that everybody should prepare a game plan to shoot the gap and basically, okay, when things are open, we're going to go play. When things are closed, we're going to go make records. And
Yes. Flow.
that's kind of,
Yep.
yeah.
Using your noodle right there.
Yeah. So we're like, okay, so this summer we're going to be open. So Wreckage is going to play fucking everywhere. And
Yay.
Fuck
then
yeah.
in winter, when everything goes to shit, which who's to say? That's just me going,
Right, right, right.
Um, I think that'll be time to do another record. So I don't know. Or that advice is just coming straight out of my ass. But anybody who asks me, that's usually my go-to.
Oh, you know what, Christina? I love this lady. She is the vocalist for
Oh,
Ascent
miss you
and down in
too.
California, and she's like, "I missed you, ladies. Work has been killing me. Full stop. Oh, we miss you, Christina. But she is all about. Wait, that's the wrong person. Wait, no, that's the wrong one. Sorry.
It's okay.
Yeah. Yo,
I have a
Christina,
new
you should have us
computer.
come play in California with you. We're
I
we're
have a
Yeah.
new
we're up.
computer that's like super touchy, so if I look on it, it like clicks up everything. I'm like,
I bet
that's not what I
Ascent would
wanted.
do a show with you guys. They've played at the Whiskey A Go Go and around the
She's,
LA area.
yeah.
That's awesome.
She was
Mhm.
like, I hear you, Wyatt. I've been
I saw that they're
over
going to
there.
be Christina, I'm going to come see you play. I see that you're coming up our way, so I'm going to make that happen.
When? Where? What?
I
What?
don't
What?
remember. I got to see it. They're with 21 Day Coma, and oh man, I thought you were playing actually. Maybe you're not.
I might not be. I don't know when it is. Maybe.
No, not you, Crash. I thought Crash
Oh.
was playing. Sorry, I didn't mean to confuse y'all.
Oh, you're good. You're good.
I'll look it up, Crash. I'll let you know when I
I
see
mean, it would be good to know if I'm playing that show. Because I would love to,
I
but.
know 21 Day Coma is no, it's Kitty Junk. Kitty Junk, 21 Day
Kitty
Coma.
Junk is sick. Kitty
Ten.
Junk is sick.
I
We
love
love
those bitches.
Such
Kitty Junk. Yes,
such
yes.
respect for them.
Oh, we have so much love for them. So much love for them.
We've had them
So
on a few times, yeah, and we just dig them. Yeah.
yeah, we're playing in Everett on Saturday, and our bassist is wearing Kitty Junk leggings on stage. It's gonna be delightful.
Oh, that's great.
My boss slash bandmate wears a Kitty Junk. Well, sometimes he wears a Kitty Junk mask. Sometimes he wears a Kitty Junk
Aw.
pin. It's
They're
always Kitty Junk.
super
Sometimes we
good.
listen to Kitty Junk at work.
Yeah, they're super good with their branding.
Uh-huh.
And like I know I always feel like I sound douchey when I talk about branding, but I also feel like it's important for bands to
It is
realize that
important. That's the word.
you're a brand. And also the more money you make selling merch and stuff like that, the more money you can put into records and stuff like that. So,
All
True.
but
yes.
they're really good with their brand.
Hold on.
Corey.
I love it.
That is not that like one I wanted to put there, but
Oh, it's okay. It's okay.
That's what happens when the
it
chat
just straight came up.
moves quickly. It
Oh,
moves.
Christina's like, oh wait, sorry, it's the wrong. She's like ramen. Yes, ramen. Cup
We're all
noodles.
about it.
Cup noodles.
I don't think I've eaten ramen in like 10 years. I feel
I
like I should
haven't.
get back to my roots and
I've
do
probably
that.
been like
Bro, I
15
literally
years.
have a case of cup noodles in my cupboard right now. And sometimes I will come home from a hard day's work at the soup stop and be like, you know what? I need some cup noodles.
You want soup after soup? Okay.
That's a whole lot of
And
soup.
it's not
That's
even good soup that I want.
That's like
I could have this amazing gourmet
goes
soup
right through her.
that we make, but no, I want the 35-cent cup noodles.
This is a very soupy life you live, and I love it. I'm here for
Oh man,
it.
I love that. I could be a soup Nazi. Like you can't have that soup.
Yeah.
You can have this soup, but no soup for you. 2 weeks.
Yeah, right.
Oh my goodness. Now the chat's going off about cup
And
noodles.
stop freaking out about the term Nazi, for goodness sakes. If you haven't seen Seinfeld, for crying out loud,
Every Seinfeld reference gets a pass. Like,
Dude,
yeah.
Yes. In the 90s, we weren't all butthurt over everything.
it's fucking Seinfeld. And if you don't know the soup Nazi, where you can't get lobster bisque for 2 weeks, I don't know. It's the lobster bisque that everybody's like freaking out over.
So Wyatt, what advice do you have for people in the music industry? You know, like other musicians.
Oh God. I don't know. I always try and approach things that like I'm not really necessarily anybody to give advice because I'm not paying all of my bills doing this. But I do have a lot of smart friends who are paying their bills doing this. And I always try and I mean, my biggest piece of advice is always be willing to take advice, honestly. Like it's that thing where I always say that no matter how successful you are, if you're the most successful person sitting at your table, you're sitting at the wrong table. Like you should surround yourself with people who are where you want to be. So
and don't be a smug little shit about it.
Yeah, right. Like I think that there's tons of people who are able to make a career out of doing this. There are people who are totally fine just playing at a tavern on the weekends, and then most of us fall somewhere in between. But yeah, for me, it's just all about the advice. Like I always want to be the student in every situation because somebody always has something to teach you. Now, granted, there are also people with shitty advice.
I'm like, yes, learning.
Right? There are also people with shitty advice out there, and that's okay too.
You have to pick and choose, like
yeah, but that I think goes back to the whole surrounding yourself with people who are where you want to be kind of thing, because that advice is usually really sound. Because you always hear the opposite stuff, like even down to like people are like, hey, my method to success is buying on to tours. And then other people are like, we would never buy onto a tour. We want to be booked and make all the money. And I think that both have their merits, and it's just deciding what's best for you. So
exactly. Thank you. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That is perfectly said. And by the way, you are being called out right now.
Oh, am I?
A set. Oh my good Loki. They said a set will be here in July. Get Wyatt on the bill.
We'll have to talk to Rock Mama because she put it together. So, Chris.
Oh man, but that it comes. She said, "Ask Rock Mama. Rock Mama knows all."
I know her.
Everybody knows Rock Mama.
Yeah, I know her.
And then they said, "Come play in California."
Oh, I'm so on that train right now. I've been sending emails about that all day. So yeah.
You might have found a connection here. That's great.
Yeah.
Corey has a question for you, Wyatt.
Oh, what's up?
He says, who were your specific musical inspirations, both with music and lyrics?
Ooh, that's a good question. Oh, I
That's
want to hear this
so
answer.
varied. That's so varied. I mean, Lane Staley is a huge one. Just, I mean, I named my son Lane. Like, obviously, like there's a lot of like love and reverence there.
Yay.
Um, but I feel like I should give weird answers rather than the standard because everybody's gonna say Beatles, Beach Boys, Fleetwood Mac, Led Zeppelin, stuff like that, which are all totally valid. But
Yep.
I also was really inspired by bands in the 2000s, like
Oh yeah.
My Chemical Romance is still, in my opinion, the best band of the 2000s. Fuck
I'll
that.
give you that. I'll give you
Uh,
that. I'll give
I'll
you
go
that.
ahead and that band also brought storytelling back to top 40, which hadn't happened in
Yep.
ages.
True,
But
true,
yeah,
true.
so like My Chemical Romance, Under Oath, bands that really pushed that envelope, AFI.
I love
Uh,
AFI. They freaked
right.
me. Like at the end of their like CD, I just let it go, and then there's like someone's in your house,
Oh yeah, yeah. The little bonus track stuff. I'm
and you're
such
like,
a sucker for that.
what the? And this
I
is like 45 damn minutes in. It's like someone's in your house, and they
Yeah.
just go off, and I'm like, what is happening right now?
I love that.
Yeah,
Okay, yeah.
AFI.
I love that there are people shouting out AFI in the chat. That makes me really
Yes,
happy.
I'm like,
Well, and I have
Yeah,
to shout out Jen Yates is in the house. Hi, Jen. Mwah. Love you.
Jen. So, and she said, surround your people with better players always.
Yes.
Yes.
right.
Jen.
I
Mhm.
always stand by the fact that I am the least talented musician in any band I play in currently. Like
Not true.
I surround myself with my favorite musicians. Like
That's cool.
I can legitimately say like Kyle, my guitar player in Wreckage, is my
Yeah.
favorite guitar player on planet Earth. Like if I could play in a
Yay.
band
Oh,
with anybody,
shout out
it's
to
that
band brother. I
motherfucker.
love it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I love
Yeah.
hearing that.
that's
But
cool.
I don't know, man. I have a guitar player that could probably chew yours up. Just
Oh
saying.
yeah. There we go. There we go. I love that.
Mine's a noodler, though. He likes to noodle.
So's mine. So's
He's
mine.
like a Satriani.
That's the thing. I feel like all guitar players are either noodlers or just like rhythm players. I mean,
Yes.
Oh,
yeah,
right.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Or
yeah,
they can, or
I get that.
there's kind of like a little step above the rhythm players and those who can write some solos, but not
Some
like
big solo,
Satriani or
mhm.
Eric Dove or Eric Johnson with Cliffs of Dover.
right. A big thing that I got super into as a guitarist is, because I mean, ripping solos is super fun, and I came up in thrash metal, so it was all about who can do the most Dimebag Daryl thing in the world.
Yeah.
And
The
for
new
me, over the
Prozac
last like
Road thing.
4 years, I'm way more focused on writing a great guitar riff and writing like a great movement to a song. So I actually had to refocus on being a better rhythm player. And I actually like where I
Oh,
sit now, where I'm like, okay, I'm going to do a little bit of flash here and there, but I'm mostly wanting to just write a great iconic guitar riff.
oh,
So
So
nice.
you're composing.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, just I also like that mile high view. I always feel like a guitar solo should do what the lead violin does in an orchestra, so it should complement the music bed below it. So,
Yes.
yeah.
Yes. Yes. I
Oh, we got a
absolutely
really
agree.
interesting question from Christina. She asks, "Do you
She
believe that?"
asked the greatest questions.
She does. All right. Do you believe that stating how you feel about the COVID situation could hurt your band? Uh, is that why you remain silent on the topic?
That is the most on the nose question ever.
Oh,
I
She's a smart
oh,
chicken.
she's super smart. If I'm being totally honest, which I will give you, I'll be totally honest about it. Yes, but I think it's just a general rule of thumb. So my band as a whole has always had a rule of nobody publicly talks about politics. Like we came up during the
We do that
Hil-
too.
we came up during the Clinton Trump election. Like that was going on when we
Ooh.
put out our first record. So our rule as a band was we never discuss politics, we never discuss religion, and now we don't discuss that. And it's only because, and there are people who would disagree with this viewpoint, my fucking job is to stand on stage for an hour and unite a room of people who
Right.
have different
Yes,
viewpoints, have
Exactly.
different, because honestly, it's really cool to be able to stand on stage and sing and look at who's singing along. And there's a white person, a black person, somebody in a MAGA hat, somebody who's trans, something like that, and have everybody be unified in a moment when
Yes.
in every other situation they're apart.
Right.
And there are some people who disagree with that logic and they think that no, it's important to nix certain people out of it. And I just don't have any skin in the game. I'm
there's
an
no
entertainer.
room for that.
Yeah.
Though. There's just no room for that.
Yeah, so I view it as I'm an entertainer. So I feel the same way about the COVID thing because honestly, if I'm being real about it, I don't have strong opinions either way. I think everybody should just do whatever makes them feel safe and support.
Thank you. Oh my
Uh,
God, that's exactly how I feel about that.
Yeah, because
This whole thing.
I'm not a scientist and I'm not a doctor, so I'm just kind of like I also think people want musicians' opinions on things like that, whereas most musicians are not well educated. And not to like bash my own kind, but like as far as
Dude, I
on
get that.
a lot of things like that, like
Yeah.
do you really want to hear U2's take on politics? No, I would rather listen to somebody who's a little more into that for that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess my viewpoint has always been go somewhere else if you want something that will divide you. I'm
Yeah.
here to bring everybody together, and
I
that's
love
cool.
that.
So
I love that. Yes.
thanks.
And when you write a song, your fans will interpret what they feel from that music.
Yeah, yeah,
And
exactly.
it's not always up to you. It can mean something totally different to you, but they're going to interpret it them to that themselves personally, and that's the beautiful part of music too.
Oh, absolutely. Well, and that's also the art of songwriting in keeping things specific enough to truly mean something, but vague enough that anybody can feel their situation in that context and view it
Mhm.
through their lens.
Dig it.
Dig it.
So, what are some of the coolest venues you've played so far?
I mean, in July, we're going back to Showbox Market, which will be really
Ooh,
fun.
that's
Uh,
nice.
yeah, that's like my favorite. When I was a kid,
Aw.
I remember walking outside that venue with my dad, and I was like, "I'm gonna play there one day." And my dad was probably just like, "Yeah, sure you are, dude." And then when we first got to play there in 2017, I remember being like, "So I guest listed you for us at the market." So that was cool.
Oh, that is
Um,
cool.
yeah, yeah. So that's like a favorite of mine. Yeah, I don't know. Like there are venues that I think don't get enough mention. I'll go ahead and ride for Tony V's Garage up in
Oh,
Everett.
Yeah, Tony's.
It's like
Nice.
a 450 person room. It's gorgeous. It's safe, clean, run by
yeah,
great fucking people.
Yes.
Because there's so many, don't get me wrong, like I'm a fan of shitty, gross rock clubs. There's
right.
no level of happiness like walking into a gross, dingy rock club that
Upper
smells like
zone.
piss for me. Like I love that. Because it's so
Yes.
nostalgic. Shout out El
Right.
Corazon, I guess.
I was
But
just thinking of them. I was thinking of
I
um,
literally said El Corazon.
I say it with love. I say it with love. If
Okay.
anybody from Elko watches this, it's not said with disrespect, but like I like the gritty, dirty vibe of that. But Tony V's is fantastic, and Tony V's also supported us when we were like nothing and had no draw, and they paid us way too much.
oh,
Just like they overpaid us to make sure we were taken care of.
that's
And
cool.
I think for them it was like an investment. Like you will get bigger, and then you will bring us more business. So that was awesome.
They were right. They were absolutely correct in that. That's very cool.
Yeah, totally.
Well, what's a dream venue you haven't gotten to play yet? Where would you play anywhere in the world if you could play there?
Oh fuck! Like anywhere at any level, because
Anywhere. Yeah.
If we want to talk like the pipe dream of like if I could be there one day, probably Brixton Academy over in the UK, or
UK would be bitching,
or the O2 Arena over there. As far as stateside, I mean, like the Starland Ballroom is amazing. I would love to play the Whiskey just because of how iconic it is.
It is.
I know that it's become a little more. Forgive me if anybody watching is offended by this. I know it's a little more of a pay-to-play venue now, and it's a little more like, hey, for X amount of dollars, you can play on this stage. Probably not to many people, unless you're like local to the area. But I still would love to do that just to kind of say I did it.
Yeah. Oh, I would too. I would totally play there as well. And shout out to our UK peeps. You mentioned that you play in the UK, and our UK people watch us later because, well, it's the middle of the night there right now.
Middle of the night, yeah.
For sure.
I'll watch, and maybe someone will, find you and ask you to play there. You never know.
For sure. Yeah. Radio London has been super cool to us and were really nice to us on the release of this record. So
Radio London is amazing.
Yeah.
They really are.
I'm totally forgetting the gal who plays us's name right now, and I feel like an asshole because I should know this off the top of my head, and it's gone.
It's like Leslie or something, but
put it in the chat later, and it'll pick it up.
Yeah, right.
Take
yeah, just dub over it.
Yes.
We'll be like, Leslie.
Yeah, right. Your name here.
So
yes.
And that you have a show.
Your name here.
Where's your show? When's the next show?
Saturday. Wreckage is at Tony V's. Funny enough, we talked about that because we always try and make sure that no matter what happens, we do that venue like twice a year.
Oh God, yeah! Everybody has to do Tony's at least once a year, like for goodness sakes,
right? Well, and we're
support your local venues, not just your local bands, your local venues.
Yeah, and Tony V's is just the top of that.
Dude, Zerhay has been nothing but amazing.
Yeah.
To local musicians, and he is also a local musician because he's the vocalist for Beef Bologna. And those of you who do not know Beef Bologna, they are a Fear tribute band.
Yeah, they're super sick. So we're playing there on Saturday night with Witch Ripper, who
I know those guys. Oh man, they are so good.
Well, we've never gotten to play with them before. They played Pain in the Grass a couple of years ago with Slipknot, and I was just like, oh, okay, perfect. And it's fun for us because we're not a metal band. Like, they're still screaming, there's still like dual guitar solos, but like we're so passionate about still being a rock band.
Yes.
Even though it's probably as hard rock gets before you cross that barrier, we don't want to play in a metal band. Witch Ripper is a fucking metal band. So I'm really excited because we're we're playing like all the heavy shit and we're doing like a 90-minute set. So because it's only two bands.
So we're my God, that's kind of fucking awesome. Where are you guys playing? Oh, Tony V's. Oh,
you're good. You're good.
No, for some reason I had it like you guys were playing the Charleston, and I was like, wait, no. That's where I saw Witch Ripper.
We played the Charleston years and years ago, and it's like the coolest venue aesthetically. I haven't played Bremerton in so long that I don't know I don't really know what the music culture is like out there.
It's still the same.
Yeah. People still come and shit kick.
Oh yeah, and the Charleston is also an all ages venue. So
I love that.
There's that. We don't have very many of those anymore.
Right? Well, and it's funny, I've been kind of filling out what the rest of our, like, summer looks like, and we're actually doing a ton of all ages stuff finally, and I'm really excited about that.
Kids are gonna love it.
Well, because Wu-Tang is for the children, and it's so important to, like, I don't
I have
know,
a
I feel
Wu
like.
Tang story.
Oh, really? Okay, then
Yeah.
fuck whatever I was saying. I wanna hear this Wu-Tang story. I'm really into Wu-Tang, so
So Wu Tang played Bumbershoot one year, right?
yes.
Okay, so I was a driver for Bumbershoot. So I would go and pick up the artists from the airport, take them to their hotels, from the hotels to the venues and back,
Yeah.
and this and that. So my job was to go get Wu Tang,
Oh,
drive
that's right.
up on.
All 9 of them.
Well, there was only 7 of them that day.
Oh, okay. Okay, so it was Wu-Tang Light.
So you drive them up on stage. They will get out of your vehicle. You will drive off stage and come back to base. I was like,
Yeah.
cool. I went and picked up Wu Tang, drove them up on stage. They got out of my vehicle, then proceeded to climb on top of my vehicle and perform their show.
Oh, shit.
So I had bass calling me, asking me what is going on. I'm stuck on stage with Wu Tang, man. Just on stage with Wu Tang.
You have the best stories.
Were you there
seriously.
for the whole set? Were you
The
just stuck
whole entire set, and then they get in my car and we fucking drive off.
there? That's so good.
That's
What
badass.
year was this?
Oh my god, I don't know. I can't remember because I worked for Bumbershoot for a few years in a row.
Was Old Dirty still with us at that point?
Oh
or was
no,
it,
Dirty
okay.
had been long. This
Oh, okay.
was like 13, 14, 15, maybe.
Okay, for sure.
Yeah, that
Awesome.
like you'll have to go back and look at the Bumbershoot schedule to
Yeah.
see when Wu Tang was here. And the
Yeah.
guy I had to get a hold of was Supreme.
Crash was
Supreme
on
Wu-Tang.
stage with him.
Yeah. It's funny because I'm super into Wu-Tang, but I've never seen Wu-Tang live. So I need to change
That was the only time I've ever got to see Wu Tang, and I didn't really get to see them. I got to feel them a lot.
Yeah, right.
They're like
It's okay.
Okay, gotta take my people. Yeah.
To be fair, there are a lot of young ladies in this world who would pay good money to be that close to Method Man. So
Right?
Here's the thing. Okay, here's the thing. Here's the thing about Redman and Method Man. So I have met Redman a long time ago and Method Man. I actually did a show with them at the Tacoma Dome
nice.
when I was playing bass for Curtis Young, who is Dr. Dre's son.
That's right.
And I got to play with like Busta Rhymes, E40, Young Hump.
The hip hop head in
Redman.
me right now is
Like,
just tingling. I love this.
oh man, it was like the most. That's the biggest show I've ever done. That was at the Tacoma Dome.
Yeah.
It was during the Dope Show back in 2016.
That's so sick.
Maybe it was 15, 16. It was in December. It was Christmas time. And yeah, I got to share the stage with all these amazing hip hop artists. And here I am, just some crappy local musician. And shout out to Scott
You're not
McKinley.
crappy.
Scott McKinley,
No.
who was there. And here's the thing, I'm wearing a Cavi Gold Records shirt today. Right.
Oh, that's awesome. I
Cavi
love
Gold.
Scott. I haven't seen Scott in ages. I need to fix
Dude, he's
that.
doing great. He's got the Dabras going on, and he's still doing his Scott McKinley thing.
Yeah, well, and he's always been such an entrepreneur and always been so.
He's a go-getter.
He's also just solid as a human being.
He really is. He
Yeah.
really, truly is. Like, he's been a really good friend of mine for over a decade now. Like, we've been good friends. Yeah, no, man, that guy, he taught me a lot about our industry. He really did.
Yeah, and he's good. I'm just such a fan of people who cut past the bullshit because don't get me wrong, like I'm big on pleasantries and like manners and I love that, but I also love people who will shoot you straight. Like,
Yes.
and Scott will shoot you straight. And I love
Yes.
that.
And like when I first met Scott McKinley, I was like, okay, I just want to get this straight that just because I know you, I will never ask you for a hand up in this business. Because if I'm going to make it in the music business, I'm going to earn my fucking way.
See, and I have felt like that for years, and now I'm finally at the not anybody who wants to give me a hand up. Let's do this because
I'm there too. I'm like, oh wait, okay,
yeah, all right.
But I mean, at the same time, it's not just us doing this. It's like, you know, like people who think that we're the bigger crowd or the bigger, you know, and we're always trying to like, come on, guy, I'll do a show with you. Come on. I mean, you got to pay it forward. You got to pay it forward. And like I said before, don't be a smug asshole.
Yeah.
Never.
Don't
be smug about it. There's no reason to be smug about it.
No, because especially when it comes down to it, I mean, until you're signed to a major or something like that and paying your mortgage with music,
right?
Having a feud or feeling superior to anybody is kind of stupid.
Yeah, but even then, when you do reach that goal, you don't need to be smug about it.
Oh, I agree. I agree. I
don't
just
be a dick about it.
For me, it's worse.
Those upcoming kids who were just like,
yeah,
oh my God, what can I do? Be a fucking hero to them. Be like, hey, this is what you do. Hard work. You grind.
Right.
Like window pane back in the day. How many hours a day after their day jobs did they go and practice?
We shared a room with window pane for years, so I can guarantee it was a long time.
It was like 8 hours after an 8-hour day at your job.
Yeah.
I read their book. I know all those guys. Those guys are amazing. Super down to earth people like you, Wyatt.
Oh, thank you. If you haven't had Glenn Cannon on, you really should.
We are going to have him on. I actually have been talking to Glenn because you know Glenn and I go way back. So
yeah, well, and Glenn
we've gotten super busy too. So
Glenn is like my best friend on planet Earth.
Aww,
he's amazing.
Cool.
Here's the thing. When Glenn Cannon comes to your shows. And he was window pane. He played Pain in the Grass. He played with all the big artists. He is a down-to-earth, humble motherfucker.
Absolutely.
He'll come up to you. He'll have a drink with you. He'll give you hugs. He'll smoke a cigarette with you. Like, he's a fucking down-ass dude.
Sorry, go ahead.
I feel honored to know both you, and I'm getting to know you a little bit more, Wyatt, but like you and Glenn. Because I've known Glenn for a long time.
Yeah. Well, and I mean, to kind of bring it all full circle, like, we wouldn't have a career if it wasn't for Glenn in Seattle. I mean, Glenn, like, so perspective, Glenn saw our band play in a basement to 12 people. Like, we were in the whole grinded out first year of our career thing where we would play anywhere that would book us. We would play 4 or 5 nights a week. Absolutely everywhere. Glenn saw us, immediately linked us up with KISW, immediately got us on Mix Fest, which was the first sold out show we played. And then fast forward, we went from that basement show to playing at a sold out Showbox Market in like 16 months. And every step of that way was helped by Glenn. So I'm a firm believer that like my existence and anybody who finds importance in our existence musically, I owe to Glenn because I don't know what would have happened had he not come around.
Right. But here's the cool thing about Glenn is he's not going to take that shit and shove it in your face. Be like,
exactly.
Well, I got you on KSW.
Yeah.
He's not like that. Not like that. Like, dude, Glenn is the coolest freaking dude I've ever met. Like, he's so down to earth.
Have you heard the new single he just dropped?
Yes.
Strange Days. It's so
good.
It's so good.
So amazing. Like,
Yeah, he's also like it's putting up like numbers and getting on Spotify playlists and shit. I'm like, oh, look at my buddy taking
But
off.
that doesn't really surprise me. I mean, really, it doesn't really surprise me because I expect good things from Glenn, just like I expect good things from you. I know that, like, in the future, Why Only and the fucking Wreckage is going to be doing some amazing shit, and I really want to catch that. I cannot, because it's going to happen.
We'll see. There's
I see it.
There's some exciting things that I'm not allowed to talk about that I'm finding out about lately.
Well, you'll have to loop us in when you
are able to finally. I want to be like at least like the first 10 people at least.
Oh, absolutely. There's exciting things happening late this summer. So
like musicians hangout needs to be top 10. Like people like
yeah.
We will share everything that you guys do.
Oh, thank you. Well, and I'll have to come back and like have us have the excuse to like dig into it.
We would love that.
We would love it if like
unless you guys are one and done. Unless you guys are one and done.
No, we are not one and done.
Eh?
No, come back.
Yeah.
Bring your band with you. Play a couple tunes. Like we love that shit.
That would be super fun. Super fun.
Love that shit.
I think we've got to do like an interview where we all go like shot for shot and then go deeper into the questions and just see who fucks up first.
We can make it happen.
Yeah. That's why I don't have a podcast, because I have destructive ideas like that. I'm like, I want to do
popular actually.
It's like I want to do hot ones, but every time we ask another question, we just drink more and more to a point where it's just sloppy and terrible. Because I find a lot of humor in
that. Some days have been.
Cheers, Skull. Tonight we have vodka and high C. Regular.
I have hard cider, and it's not even my favorite hard cider. No offense, Angry Orchard. There wasn't any Two Towns available, so
that's fair. I'm boring and drinking.
I got water too. Got to double.
Yes.
Got to stay hydrated. So
yeah.
Crash had a hard day at work, so Crash is not hydrating.
Yeah.
I hydrated all day long, and I had a day at work.
Why it's boring and doesn't drink much anymore? I don't know.
I do that every once in a while. I do sober months, and I just got through Soberary, so I do sober February.
That's awesome.
And then I do sober October, and we drink on Halloween. It's like
that's the way to do it.
We have these big
Crash doesn't do any of those things. I'm kind of lame.
Bowls that we fill with cider, and we just get fucked up.
Okay, yeah. Crash is the fun friend. She's the really fun friend. She's the friend that you call to go to Vegas with. I feel
yes. Oh my god, we're getting midget strippers, and like I got a whole itinerary of shit we're gonna do. It's not gonna be anything good.
So that's my dream. I don't know if my drummer will listen to this. So my drummer has had this idea for years. He's always wanted us to hire little people for a show and do maybe like a wrestling match between little people during the set or something like that. But what I really want is for his next birthday, whatever show is closest to that, I really want to hire a brigade of midget strippers and make this happen.
They gotta be available. I mean, come on.
Well, it's also, I would debate that it's not offensive to say, because most little people I know actually work doing appearances, so they kind of for a living count on that.
It's not offensive because they actually put themselves out there
exactly
for that purpose to make money. So
why not?
I don't think it's offensive. It's just like you go to a strip club to see some bitch take her clothes off, right? And she's up there taking her clothes off. So I feel like it's the same thing, right?
Yeah. It's just in a smaller package, and if that's your thing, it's cool.
Put up Crash.
Literally.
Sorry, but like not this year, but next year is going to be my 50th, and I really want a midget stripper in Vegas.
Dude, that's well earned.
I gotta make that happen. I gotta make it happen.
That was her wish list. I gotta remember this. the Bash for Crash must have.
Yeah, as my bestie.
That's perfect. Okay.
Yes.
Well,
She's
tell you
cool
what,
with
it we'll do a part 2 to it here, and I will try and find you midget strippers.
Yes. Oh my God. And I will help you with this endeavor because I think I know somebody we can call.
Then it's not a surprise. Then it's not a surprise. This only works if it's a surprise.
Okay, but what if I give you the numbers of people and you just make it happen? I don't know when or where it's gonna
Perfect.
happen. But we
I'm
make it
open
happen.
to this. I have made worse decisions.
Me too. I
That's
got
great.
married. So
Oh.
well,
My
I'm
goodness.
not the person who should probably get married. Like kind of a dick.
No.
It's okay. It's not for everybody.
It was a good thing. It was a good thing for about a decade. And
Oh,
then,
there you go. Yeah. I'm big on the no regrets thing.
Yeah, I have no regrets. I have no regrets. Like I'm glad I got married. I had 2
No
children.
regrets.
Really loving that. And you know, I have no regrets. I have no regrets.
Good. That's the way that life is done best.
No regrets, just lessons learned. How about
There we
that?
go. That's it. Yeah.
Well, kids, go ahead.
Oh, no. I was just talking out my ass more.
Oh,
really
please
good.
continue to talk out your ass. Like, we really enjoy it.
We appreciate it.
Oh,
Yes,
for
we have
sure.
totally enjoyed our time with you and would love to have you back.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I could talk to you for hours. Like, I can't wait for your next show. I'm gonna stalk you and just be like, hey, remember me?
Yeah, we should totally do it. If either of you guys are free on Saturday, let me know. I'll list you to the show.
Plan Saturday. Sorry.
That's okay. No worries. There's many
It's
more
like
to
the
come.
one time I'm actually gonna be with Maxine.
Yes.
Oh,
We have all of this promo stuff we have to do for our lotion and beard oil line.
yeah, heck yeah. Oh, trust me, I never knock the hustle. I get it.
Right.
I
So-
never
Yeah,
make it
we
to any of my
hustle.
friends' shows because I'm
But
so
we'll be-
busy with the
We'll
hustle.
be out in the scene together. We'll come
For
see
sure.
you. You know, we'll.
Yeah.
Oh God, yes.
Yeah,
But
I would
there's
love
a
that.
stipulation. You have to do Swan Song next time I see you because I'm telling you, I'm so in love with that song. Like,
I don't think we're ever gonna not play that song again. Like
Yeah,
it's
yes.
kind of well, it's also just kind of become our like biggest song. So
I get that.
yeah,
it's so emotional and so like everyone on the planet can fucking relate to that song.
Thank you.
Everyone.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be about COVID. It could be like
Yeah.
any time in your life when you just cannot fucking go on. You have this note to
All
yourself.
in there. Yeah.
For sure, absolutely. Well, yeah, and any time anybody comes to see us live, I think that's like the given one. Like that, we can't escape it.
I'm gonna
Nor
hold
would
you.
I want to.
I'm gonna hold you that to my friend.
So Wyatt,
please
before
do.
we sign out, where can our fans and viewers find you online?
Well, we have the least catchy, longest band name in the world. So we use acronyms on a lot of things. So our website is woatw.com. Yeah, you can just search Wyatt Only in the Wreckage on like YouTube or Spotify or anything like that. We're kind of on everything except for TikTok because I haven't swallowed my pride enough to get a TikTok account. So,
we get it. We
we had a TikTok account. We posted one video. Like what was that? A year and it's so ago.
2 years ago now. Like it's been a while, friend. Like it's like just didn't love it. You know, like it just one more thing you have to do. Basically, we were just like, oh.
Yeah, and it's just not our thing. And then other than that, we have an unplugged record that's coming out on April 1st.
Ooh.
So,
that's soon.
Yeah, we've been dropping singles from it slowly. So
cool.
Yeah, so that's been super fun to do like reimaginings of like heavier songs and do them soft and super melodic and stripped. So yeah.
Very cool. Well, go follow them, everybody, and watch for their new album.
Well, Only and the Wreckage.
Thank you guys
Awesome.
so much. You guys are the best.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for being on. We
Of
had such
course.
a ball with you. You were amazing. Very
Oh,
fun to
thank
have
you.
on.
Thank you.
I can't wait to
appreciate
have you and the whole band on. Oh my God, it's going to be so much fun.
It'll be
I
fun.
still think at some point we need to work out like a live podcast all in the same room, and we need to just go shot for shot and make it ridiculous.
Okay.
We definitely need to make that happen.
Oh yeah. That, and I just want to see if my drummer gets shit faced and says really upsetting stuff that gets us canceled. Like that's just the
Always
goal.
the drummers.
Guilty.
Yes.
Guilty.
That's
Always
awesome.
getting
Well, thank you guys so much for the hang.
Oh,
Yeah.
thank you, Wyatt, so much. It was such a pleasure, and I seriously cannot wait to do this again.
For sure. Big love, guys.
Big love.
Yay!
All right,
Everybody, it's time to say goodnight, so I'll take us out. Let's go. Good night, everybody. See you next week. Take care. Have a great weekend. Love you.